What's happening, YouTube? Back in the day gamer here. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and today coming at you with another episode of What's Happening YouTube, where we talk about what's happening YouTube. So let's get into it. Now, as always, I have big visions for my videos and planning ahead, and none of that ever happens. We're already approaching mid-October, and I have done nothing to do with anything Halloween yet. And I have big plans and lots of things lined up, but I'll probably not do any of them. But the one Halloween factor that you can count on here on this channel is that we're gonna drink some pumpkin beer. So let's crack this sucker open. Now, being a week into October already, I'm balls deep in many 6-packs of pumpkin beer. This one is by the Great Divide Pumpkin Ale. Get some B-roll of that can. I'm not gonna lie, I've already had 5 of these. Not today, but this was a 6-pack. This is the lone one. Now, well, I'm just gonna pour it good and not make it foamy, but it's really dark. You'll be able to take a look here when you see through my sweet jack-o'-lantern cup there. That it's a dark one. What is this? It's a nail? It's a nail. It's a nail, but it's darker than I thought it would be, but it's still tasty. So YouTube, to Halloween. Cheers. I'm a pumpkin flavor kind of guy. I don't care for pumpkin spice, so I don't get into that shit. Well, I usually try everything, but I'm never a big fan. The pumpkin beers, 90% of them suck. They just taste like cinnamon and nutmeg. They're just terrible. But you know, you get the 10% of them that are good. This one is in the middle. I'm not a huge beer drinker. I like weird sweet beers. I hate IPAs. IPAs are terrible. They're fucking terrible. But this one's good. It doesn't have too much of those spices in it. It's got some pumpkin flavor. This was a good 6-pack. But you want to hear about video games, right? That's what I want to talk about. So, I'm behind on my videos because I've been working on the backlog of games. So the backlog of videos has been building. I've got shit piled up here everywhere. I've got 3 bags of stuff for Eat It videos. I've got VGM box. I got stuff all over. This box just came in. Let's open this box. I don't know what it is. Video games. I feel like Fithead saying this, but you know, video game hunt has just dried up. I mean, I don't go to the store very often anymore because I just know I'm not going to find anything. But I mean, out of the past 10 times I went, I probably got something twice, and I don't think it was much to talk about. And neither is this. These are plants. They're whiskey barrel looking pots for my plants. Okay, so that's not fun. I'm sorry. Sorry that you watched that, but it is going to make the game room look cooler. But moving past that, been doing a good bit of hacking out backlog. Been playing primarily NES lately. Not a shooter guy, but this is a shooter, possibly one of the first shooters that I used to get into on the NES, and that is Xanac. I finally took this game down. Tough as nails. Get Unlimited continues, so obviously you spend enough time on something like that, you're probably going to finish it. Except for Ghosts and Goblins, which I still can't finish. But I like this game a lot. Thought it was a lot of fun. You know, not being a shooter kind of guy, especially space shooter stuff, just really almost has no interest to me. This was a game my buddy growing up back in the day, Brian, had across the street. But a lot of people don't even know about this game, you know, because it's on the NES and it's just pretty mediocre. But it was a game from back in my childhood, and I finally took it out. It was tough as nails. Back in the day gamer. Check that one off as backlog. Next up, a game I have always liked. Most people hate, especially AVGN. You know, Captain Algebra likes it. I like it more than him. Always liked it. Back to the Future. Finally, check this one off my backlog. The main reason that I haven't beat this until now is because I never get this game to work. When I play my games and record the footage, I use, like, you know, not a Retron 5 because I've had several of those. They're pieces of shit and they always break. I use Retro Freak. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, okay, it technically emulates, but I only play games that I have the cartridges for. It's just easier than hooking up all these different systems, and I don't have switches, and blah, 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 blah. But I've always loved Back to the Future. It is a fun game. I don't care what you say. Yeah, we're talking about super old NES games, so it's not necessarily going to hold up, and it doesn't really have a lot to do with the source material. If you do your research, it has more than you think. I've always liked it. I grew up playing it back in the day. My buddy Eric, that lived right down the road, always had this one, and it was one of the titles we'd always play at his house, because he had some real shit games, but this was one that I always had fun with. On that last board, you can't continue, no matter how many games you have left. If, you know, you don't make it, you don't hit 88 miles per hour, that's it. So I was just kind of threw in the towel and said, fuck this, but finally just hacked at it, and I beat it on the first try. So, boom, Back to the Future, off the backlog there. Next game. Wait a minute. Pumpkin-y. Next game I checked off the backlist. This is it's a hidden gem on the NES. People hate that term. I don't. I love it. It's a hidden gem on the NES. It's another title that my buddy Eric had, but it's not a game that you play a lot when you're over your buddy's house because it's a long, drawn-out action RPG. It is somewhat true to the source material. Movie, game, just like Back to the Future. This game really kicks ass. It might be in my top 10. I'm working on my NES top 20 video. Be, you know, a couple years that'll finally come out, but this is definitely in my top 20. Might be in my top 10. Willow. This game rocks. The only thing it's missing, well, is a crazy long shitty password system. If it had a battery save like Zelda, it's a lot like Zelda. But I want to say it's more difficult. There's parts, but you can't compare it to Zelda. Zelda's Zelda. But it's Zelda-like being an action RPG, and you have a sword and a shield. But Willow on the NES, super cheap. It's another game I've had since back in the day. Never ended up finishing it. There's a couple parts that are weird. There's a couple parts that are super cryptic. I had to do much backtracking again through most of the game, and a couple times I think I just got lucky figuring out what I had to do, just running into the right guy, because there's, you know, it's not, it's linear. You have to do things in order. Sometimes, something gets fucked up. But all that aside, Willow on the NES, kick-ass game, super cheap. If you're an NES fan, gotta get you some Willow. The end was somewhat disappointing because it was super, super easy. I think I had to fight Bavmorda. I think I fought her once and died, and the next time, boom! So, we're not going to make this video super long, so we're going to just stop right there at those three. Now, I know we're here for video games, so we're not going to ramble on too much on some other things, but during the summer, I always watch King of the Hill. So it's all on Hulu. Every episode's on Hulu, so I spent the whole summer watching King of the Hill. A week ago, finally finished it. Got season 1 on DVD. It's, you know, something to look at here while we talk about it. But I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. Show is awesome. Bobby Hill's hilarious. Hank's weird and hilarious. It's just you're watching this channel. You know King of the Hill, right? I've seen them all before, but took me all summer. Watched them through. Really disappointed when it ends. Like, it needs another season, at least another episode. We need closure. We need closure. King of the Hill. Back of the day gamer. 2 thumbs up. Let's end this on a... Oh, nope. Not ending it yet. Music. We like to jam some rock here in the game room. That's why I'm not big on talking about game soundtracks, because I'm usually jamming music. We can't play it on the channel, copyright strikes, blah blah blah. But for the past month, I had my favorite Metallica album in my truck, rocked it out, and Justice for All. It's tough to just pick a favorite Metallica album, but this is it. I think it's really cool that somebody bought my kid and Justice for All t-shirt. And before that, I was on a Judas Priest kick, hit a couple Iron Maiden albums, rocked out the last of the ones I have. What we got, Somewhere Back in Time, the best of, 80 to 89, and you got From Here to Eternity, that doesn't sound right, Eternity, 90 to 2010, obviously that one is less good, and then I'm not sure which my favorite Iron Maiden album is, but this is definitely a contender. Number of the Beast. Iron Maiden, man. You know, back in the day I didn't like them because I was judging the book by the cover, and I thought they'd be like, you know, super heavy, and they weren't. But now I can obviously appreciate me some Iron Maiden. We're gonna end this on a note. Games I want to beat. I've been playing this game for maybe 30 years. One of my first RPGs. Got it when it came out. Final Fantasy Legend on the Game Boy. I remember this game was $50. It's like, $50? Yeah, but so I've had this since back in the day. And the end board, I don't know if you guys played this before. A few of you I'm sure have. Just big phoenix thing. As soon as you come out from the underground, kicks your ass, you can't hurt it, all you can do is run. Can never figure it out. Finally, buckled down, beat that. But the last board, there's a lot more to it than that. I am at the last guy. I got to the last guy, but I'm not leveled up enough. Not leveled up, because this is a weird game where you buy extra hit points like that. I really don't like that about it. But you also buy weapons, and weapons only have a certain number of uses. So it's kind of like you grinding doesn't get you ahead, because you're getting more gold, but you have to use that gold to then buy more weapons. But I'm not going to talk too much about it, because we are not through with it yet. We're at the end. So I got the end guy, and I have to backtrack, get some more money, build better, buy better weapons to finally take them out. So that's what we'll be talking about next episode. So thanks for tuning in, YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Make sure you get yourself some pumpkin beer before the season's over. And until next time, keep it retro!